started. Okay. I'm waiting on the other thing to pop up.
Okay.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Job and the Librarians. My name is Erica. I am a young adult librarian, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this book.
My name is Kim. I'm the head of children's and teen librarian, and I'm equally excited about this book.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Defy Me by Tahera Mafi, which is like our favorite series. Wait, is this your favorite author?
Yes, yes,
I haven't read
yes.
anything else by her, just this series. So
Me too. That's all I need, though. It's not.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure her other books are also like super bomb, but I'm good here.
So we're gonna talk about this Defy Me. If you have not read Restore Me or the previous series, do not read this. Don't watch this show. Once you read it, do not watch the show because there are a lot of spoilers, and it starts off exactly where Restore Me ended. So if you don't remember anything by Restore Me, go back and reread it. But I'll give you like a little refresher thingy. So at the end of Restore Me, there was like this big, oh my god, it was like a seminar, a ball, or something like that, a symposium or something like. Anyway,
Yeah,
it was this
yeah.
big gathering. There's this big gathering, and Juliet it like Juliet killed a lot of people, and she got sent back to where she was originally from, and her and Warner got separated, and then we found out that her parents were actually the ones that were like over Oceania. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
It's a
like
lot.
Australia. It's like
Yeah,
Australia. I don't know why they would, or New Zealand, because Lord knows I don't want
yeah.
to offend anybody, but like, whatever. Or
So yeah,
Atlantis. They said Atlantis. I don't know.
yeah. So we find out that her parents are actually her biological parents are alive, and they have been orchestrating this whole thing from the very beginning. And then Defy Me opens up with flashbacks and where Juliet is and Warner. We don't exactly know where everybody is right now. Kenji takes over the first part of the book. I thought about you. I was like, okay, this is Kenji's book. I know Kim's happy. I'm like,
Yes,
whatever.
I am. I love. Oh, I didn't even show you. I know people listening can't see. This is my Kenji candle. Isn't
I
he
like that.
beautiful?
I
Yeah.
like that. I was like, oh my gosh, she's
It's
dying
fine.
or whatever because this is her. I was like, Kenji, hurry up! I'm ready for my couple. But
Oh gosh.
yeah, so what I'm just gonna talk about my overall feelings about it, and then we can just get into it, like our
Mm-hmm.
parts and stuff. So honestly, this was not my favorite out of the whole set. This is
Mm-hmm.
like a filler book. There was a lot of flashbacks. I don't really care for flashbacks, really. It's okay if it's a little bit, but I really don't care for it. But I kind of understood why because it's like you're getting reintroduced to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Everything like you knew about the characters, you kind of throw it or put it to the side because there's new things that's coming along about Warner and Juliet because we know now that they have known each other before, and all the Supreme leaders kids all grew up because Juliet is now she was a Supreme leader kid, and it's a lot of backstories of the tormenting and things like that and how their memories kept getting erased, which was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it was crazy, and how all of the parents, I think they must all were drinking out of the same water or something because they were evil. All of them were just evil. I can't even fathom how a parent could treat their children like that. That's just evil. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, it's that's my overall thing about it. It wasn't anything good. It wasn't anything bad. It's just like, okay, this is not my favorite, but it's a must to read it. Do not skip it because you're gonna miss a lot of vital things if you do skip it. Because some people
Mm-hmm.
tend to skip filler novels,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not one of those things. It's kind of more like a first book, like a foundation, because you're trying to relearn your characters now. Because everything you knew about them is just not. You learn the background story. That's all I can say about that part. Like the serialization of it.
Uh,
So, what did you think about it?
I, all right. So if we rewind to when you and I first discovered that we were both in love with this series, I had said that I hadn't finished the previous book because I didn't want to finish last year's book until I got this book. I don't know. Like I really love this series and I get so emotionally attached to my books. I don't like to be left hanging. I don't. So, and I'm actually kind of glad I did that, because when I got to the end of, what is it? When I got to the end of Restore Me, I was like, thank God I can pick up Defy Me right now. Like, thank God. So, I mean, I definitely would describe this book the same as you, like kind of just like an information bomb. It's kind of like everything that was like a little confusing, that it's like kind of didn't make
Yeah.
any sense. Yeah, like why her parents hated her so much and seemed to hate her from the get-go. You're like that's intense. And like admittedly that does happen, but we had no idea why. So in this book we get the why, you know? And just kind of like how, because really in reality, like Juliet and Warner, well, we'll call her Juliet for now.
Yeah.
Juliet and Warner really were kind of pulled to each other. I think maybe Warner was more pulled toward Juliet, and it didn't really make any sense. You're just kind of like, well, why?
I
And so
love
like we kind of get, me too, I'm not gonna lie. So we got, we got that bit of information too. So it there's some filler books I've read. Like, I don't know if you've read the Fifth Wave series,
That's the first
but
one.
yeah, so the first one, I like the first one. The first one's good, take your leave it. But the second book, you could have thrown that book out the window and like it wouldn't have mattered. It was a filler book with information that I'm not even sure was very important. But this book was an opportunity, I think, to drop a whole bunch of information, because I think, and isn't the next book the last one? Like
Yes.
she was contracted. So
Yeah.
see, that's why this book exists, so that she could be like, okay, here's everything you wanted to know from the first 4 books. And when she released this one just before, she also like dropped Kenji's novella too, and I haven't even read it yet. I was like, let me just, because that's all it's going to take over my mind, and let me let me not do Erica like that. So yeah, I think this book was all of the information that we need for them to for her, Tahera Mafi, to finish off this series. And I liked it though. I liked everything. I liked Nazira. That's how I'm gonna say her name. I hope that's right.
I think it
I
is. I
like.
listened to the audio too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mhm.
I liked Nazira. I even, well, Warner's dad is a hot mess. And I'm going to need a little bit more information on that. I'm going to need a little bit of backstory, because they just dropped some information
Yes.
and then moved on.
Yes. I had to reread it. I was like, wait a minute now. I actually went back to Restore Me, or whichever, no, the third one of those. So I was like, okay, I know that he got shot. Like, I
He
know
got shot
he
in
was
Ignite
affected.
Me. She shot
Yeah.
him at the end of Ignite Me. So the third book, and he was dead the whole fourth book, and he don't have the nerve to just show up shooting people in
Yeah.
the fifth book.
The sweet old man, day later or something like that, the
Yeah.
father-in-law. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Those one of those characters. I just didn't want anything to happen to him, because he just
I
was just
know.
there by duty and loyalty. And
Mm-hmm.
when he finally was like, I've had enough,
Yep.
and then he gets killed, and I'm like,
Yep.
wait a minute, where did you even come from? And his whole explanation was, I just wanted you all to kind of just why he was getting himself together. He wanted them to enjoy their being how they are now, with the
Yeah.
over them and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. That's when it kind of start to get kind of like, yeah. So now when people actually die in this, well, the last one's coming out, so I can't really say that. If this would have happened from
Exactly.
before, I'm like, okay, so when the next 2 come out, if someone die, they may not really be dead. So
It looks like all
and
cards are off the table.
yeah, and then like when Warner threw the what's this called? The
The knife or dad
yeah,
something, he threw something, a pin, I don't know what
he
it
the
was.
letter opener at
Yeah.
his throat, and he came walking down the hallway with the napkin on his, and he just was like, well, I admire you for that, son. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Finally, and start taking initiative to really do this.
Yeah, because that was a kill shot. Like that shot was not playing. That shot was not front. That was not a I'm trying to get your attention shot. That was a please will
Yeah.
you finally die shot. And his daddy was like, no.
that's like some Jason stuff. 'Cause, like, when you hit him or assuming you killed him and he comes back, that's exactly what that is.
Um, Lord. But yeah, so but what I do feel about this book is it's an information overload. Like there was just so much daggone stuff in here. So I'm blending gosh, these titles restore me and defy me in my brain a little bit because I went right from one to the other. But we learned about Juliet's parents in the last book, right?
At the
Maybe?
very just a
Yeah, I think
little
at the
bit
very
at the
end. Yeah,
very end
that's
because
when I panicked. That's when I
yeah,
panicked and I
things
was like, oh
got better.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I just, Lord, I should have wrote some notes to try to dissect
Wow,
this,
bookmarks.
but I couldn't, because I was reading it on overdrive, so I had the book, but I didn't want to touch it because it's beautiful. So now I was like, oh, it's on overdrive. Let me read it on my tablet. But I think the big things that stuck out here. Okay, so like you, I'm kind of not big on flashbacks, so I feel kind of bad. Like a couple of those flashbacks, I didn't even read them. I just kind of skimmed through some stuff and moved on. But when we started to see when they were the flashbacks of Juliet writing in her journal while she was in jail, I don't know, let's call it jail. Um, those ones I wasn't really paying attention to. But as they started to have flashbacks of them as children, like that I found like I was pretty interested in, just to kind of see the dynamic between like young Juliet and Warner. And it was they were like 5 and 7, like
Yeah,
they went back. um and to see like Juliet and Emmeline, I'm going Emmeline and Nazira together. That was rough. I felt bad. Although
yeah,
Nazira had me nervous for a little bit. Like I was like, girl, I don't know if you're coming or going. You're
yeah.
you're kissing my fictional boyfriend, and I'm feeling some kind of way about that, but you're kind of cool. Then you turned on everybody, but then you really hadn't. So I don't know. I was very much in my feelings about her. Um, and then can we talk about how Emmeline, this is gonna sound really awful. Did they turn her into a mermaid
Yes,
while
I
they were
mean,
killing her?
it's like because she lost all her senses except for
Except for
hearing.
hearing.
Her hands became webbed,
And her
and
feet.
yes, and her eyes are black. Were they black or they
No,
were
they were fused shut, and all you could see was the eyelashes. But it's like she closed her eyes and then she couldn't open them no more, and all that was left were eyelashes.
how could they do that?
I
I
don't
just
know.
I don't even understand it because like in the flashbacks, you're thinking everything is okay because there are flashbacks of them, her parents showing love to one another and putting
Mm-hmm.
pancakes and things like that. You would think that this a happy family, and
Yep.
then her mom. I really believe her mom had a lot of the influence because she was the supreme leader,
Yep. Yep.
and
Which, like, hats off to that ladies running stuff. Like, I ain't mad
yeah,
at you, Tara.
but she was crazy. She
Yes,
was
she
crazy.
was with the migraines. She was like
Yeah, let
mommy
me say I
dearest.
highlighted, like, when I read this, let me pull this bookmark up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is when okay, Juliet is now Ella.
Yes.
So, now you all know she's Ella now. So, this is, like, when she first woke up from being, drugged from and whatnot and things like that, and when she was asking for her friends and asking for water and things, and her mom was like, "Ugh, I'm so sick of this." She went up to her daughter and slapped her, not once, not twice, but 3 times to the point where it broke her skin. And she just was like, "I'm tired of hearing his name pop. There aren't your friends, pop. Show me some respect, pop."
It's not funny. It's not funny, but
It's
just
not,
some
but it is
it's
at the same time
it's
because
it blows the whole. Okay, so let's paint the picture even before that. Let's take it back to before the 3 slaps. Juliet had just been kidnapped from this symposium, and let's not forget the fact that she thought she killed 600 people. So she thinks that she has just slaughtered a sea full of people. They didn't even explain all that, so I'm gonna need somebody to go back and fill me in on who's casting illusions over here.
yeah.
But because they didn't even touch that. So she just thought she had killed like 600 people. She had been drugged for I don't even know how long, long enough that her hair grew back after she cut it all off. So
That was
I
a
don't
long
know.
time.
Yeah, they said 2 weeks, and I was like, nah, this is like 2 months. Uh,
Yeah.
and so when she finally wakes up, her mom opens the door and is like, "Come get some dinner," just like it's a Tuesday, just like it's any other day. Like, you hungry? Me and your dad out here. Your food's getting cold, and she's Juliet, Ella, whoever. It was a struggle for me to call her Ella in my brain because she'd been Juliet for 4 books,
I know,
but four and a
right?
half. Yes, I was like, but so I mean, Ella is coming out of this, and her mom, I'm gonna say that in quotes because that's not a mom. Her mom is trying to act like it's just any other day, like just like the past how many flipping years, like the past like 11 years or
Yeah,
so.
it's been a while, and it's like she didn't even open. It was like she sent an experiment out, and when it came back, and that's kind of like what it was. It wasn't like it was loving or anything like that. It's just like she. It was an experiment the whole time.
That's so awful. Yeah. So then of course, Juliet's gonna, freak out and have a meltdown. And it's like, where's Kenji? Where's Warner? Where's Castle? Everybody dead. What's his face got shot? Like, she's who? Brendan? Oh, Brendan and
Yeah.
Winston. I
Oh
forgot about them.
yeah.
I forgot. He okay. He okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I hope that works out for the two of them. But only to someone coming in acting like it's any other day. So of course she's like panicking and freaking out. And you got mommy dearest over here like, oh, I got a headache. Pop. Oh, I got a headache. Pop. Shut up. Pop. Come get
Yeah.
some dinner. And you're like, well, goodness me. And I think dad was in there at that point, just standing, watching,
Yeah, and he just
nothing to say.
yeah, she just was like, "Take care of that, please," and
Yeah.
he drugged her like,
And he just stabbed a needle in her neck.
wow.
I was bugging out. I think it was somewhere around that where I sent you a text. I think at some point I was just bugging out and I was like, girl, I it's like, oh Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. So yeah, so you got this going on while you've got Warner in this same building, question mark? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
they both are there.
they're both there
Yeah,
being tortured and or being poisoned slowly. And we don't actually know this yet, but because this is a guess in my opinion for the next book. Warner was convinced, and Delieu, I think that's French. I never took however you say his name, Delieu. We're making some allusions to the fact that Warner's mom was poisoned, and I'm wondering
and
if whatever poison was being fed to her was the same thing that was being fed to Warner when he was locked up in that room. Now we don't
yeah,
know, but that's my theory.
yeah, that makes perfect sense because okay, we know that his dad is alive, so his dad can't stand
We
him.
don't know how,
Only
but he
time that
is.
the only time that he felt like he was proud of his son was when he tried to kill him with the paper cutter or what letter opener.
Letter
And then
opener.
he yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. But it makes sense though. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's what I think. I don't know. I was kind of mad we didn't get farther in that too. But so just I don't know. I know we're popping all over the place. But back to the dad. Did I miss this? Did so did they ever say how he stole the twins' powers, for lack of a better term? Like I remember they kidnapped the twins after in the third book. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so they kidnapped the twins who can heal in the third book. I remember that. I don't necessarily remember them bringing them back, but they're back. So they got back at some point, I assume, in the fourth book. And he said something about how they harvested just enough blood from them for somehow the dad to just get powers. I don't understand. So it seemed like from the book that Juliet's parents, their whole purpose was, I couldn't really tell. Partially reading it, it seemed like their purpose was to get rid of these abilities. They called it like a sickness and a disease toward
yeah.
the end. So it seemed like part of their research was to get rid of um, the abilities of these kids, which is very like Darkest Minds for the record. I don't know if you've read that
I
series, but
haven't
like
read it.
get it. Don't watch a movie. I haven't seen it either, but read them books. So it seemed like that was part of their plan. They also wanted to turn Ella and Emmeline into weapons to control everybody else, which is a hot mess. But so they're trying to weaponize two kids, get rid of the powers of everybody else, but somehow they've just given Warner's dad, who they don't even seem to
Yeah.
like these abilities. Did he say it was them? I don't, or did he say it was Ella's parents, or are we just guessing that?
I don't really remember. I don't remember. I don't. I don't
I'm
remember.
diving
Maybe
deep.
so, because he was there in Oceania too. So
Yeah,
maybe so. Maybe their parents was orchestrating the whole thing.
yeah. I don't know, but there's just so many moving, and I think that's probably why I like this book. I like books where there are a lot of moving parts. Like I like when my brain is just kind of on overdrive trying to figure it out, but like in a not frustrating way, more
Yeah.
of like in a this happened, then that happened, then that happened, then that happened, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, which makes it like fun as opposed to when a book is just written, kind of poorly, and you're like, I can't follow anything that's happening. I'm reading something else.
Yeah. It's there we go. I got another bookmark. Let me see if I
Go,
can
yep.
find it. Let me see.
About Warner's dad or about the crazy parents?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up.
What part was it?
It was at the very beginning. Let's see. Okay.
He was still dead in the beginning. And they were talking smack on him. It doesn't seem like anybody
I
liked
think her
Warner's
parents
dad.
were talking about him. Let me see.
Hating on him. The irony of that is not lost to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I can't even find it. I bookmarked it though, because they were talking about how weak he was and
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't. He was so power hungry that he really didn't even care.
Yep. And that they kept him on a need to know basis. It
Yeah,
really seemed like Ella's parents were controlling everything, including him. So it's like Ella's parents were controlling the big, big picture. And Warner's dad was really just controlling Sector 45. Like,
yeah,
despite what title he had, like he was really just ruling Sector 45. And it's like they were in charge of everything else.
yeah. And because like when it first came on the scene with Warner and Juliet, or Juliet period, he and somebody else, they were just soldiers there. I can't remember who
When
else it was. This was when the flashbacks first started, when he was trying to, work his way up, and
Warner
that's
was?
when no,
Oh,
the dad.
okay.
He was trying to work himself up, and I can't remember, he was there with someone else, because they were both, soldiers, and I think that's when he became over Sector 45. Oh my god, I can't even think about it. Oh my goodness, I had a brain fart. I really am.
He was
Kind of
with
brain
a
fart right now. It'll come to
soldier.
me. It'll
Was it
come
the
to me.
grandfather? Because it seemed like from when the grandfather, I don't know how to say his name, so he's just the grandfather. So when the grandfather was telling his story, it seemed like he and Warner's dad, Paris, his name, I always forget his name, were even. Like it seemed like, ooh, Alexa, stop. Sorry. I forgot she was on. It seemed like Warner's dad and grandfather were in equal rankings
Okay.
in
Maybe
the
that's what
like
it
the
was.
military. So I wonder if whoever it was, maybe they didn't say who it was in the beginning of the book, but maybe we were kind of led to believe that it's supposed to be the grandfather.
Yeah. It's they were it's okay, so can we talk about how what I thought was unique was how Emmeline was communicating with Warner, or did she communicate with I know she communicated with Ella or Juliet.
She kind of low key communicated with
And
everybody.
so that kind of makes me think, I may be wrong, but it kind of makes me think about the whole setup at the very end of Restore Me, because we didn't know how who created the illusion of her killing people. And maybe her parents used
Oh.
Emmeline to do that to get Juliet to come to there.
Yes. Okay.
So
Okay. Yes, 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 yes. And okay, okay, okay. I think you're right. And here's why I think you're right. Because remember at the end of the book, and while this was important, I I I forgot about it once they settled into their like little homestead.
yeah.
Ella, I'm just gonna take me a minute to get used to that. Um, was made a comment about how Emmeline was using her telekinetic abilities to make it look like the whole world was like a barren post, climate change wasteland.
Mhm.
But is it not? Question mark. So like Oceania was beautiful. Like
Mhm.
there was green, there was hills, there was no, she could see the stars, whatever, whatever. But when they were back in what is America, or North America, it kind of looked like a desert wasteland. But she said that it was Emmeline who was making it look that way, using her ability to kind of help, like, bring the little man down, like um, help people feel like defeated, and like, there
Mhm.
was no hope, and like, they'd already messed everything up and there was no going back. So maybe it was
Yeah,
Emmeline who
exactly.
made it look like Juliet killed 600 people, even though she didn't.
Yeah, I think so, because and then Emmeline could gain from that too, because she knew, because they're sisters, so she could use Juliet or Elle to help her escape or kill her, because she wanted Juliet to kill her too.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
I think I would want somebody to take me out too if I'm sitting up and deal with all
yeah.
of that. So
Erica, I'm giving you permission. If I am locked in a water filled tube with no eyes, no nose, no mouth, I can barely hear nothing. The web feet and hands I might not be that mad about because then I'll finally be able to swim. But if somebody don't lock me up like that, you have full permission to just, throw that letter opener right in the neck. Like, because that, like, like, is there any reversing that? And then how
yeah,
did she get that way?
that's just years of experimenting, because they were experiments on Juliet too.
But they were trying to make her
And
bones stronger
yeah,
for some
and
reason because she's darn near invincible. So I don't know what the point of that was.
yeah, but something happened with Emmeline, because they said her mom said that where Emmeline failed, or where she failed with Emmeline, Juliet was going to be the one to take her place. So I guess whatever they were trying to do, it didn't quite work out, and they just kind of just went on trying to fix it and kept messing it up with
What could
Emmeline.
you
I
possibly be
don't
trying
know.
to do that brings about webbed fingers and toes? Like unless you were literally trying to create a mermaid, I can't think of a single thing. Now the eyes and the ears and stuff, like okay, fine, like you can have that and the nose, like, but and so okay, so here's my other thing. I think why I'm so caught up on the webbed fingers and toes. Remember in one of the flashbacks when Juliet kept saying that her mom said that there were people who could breathe underwater.
Mhm.
Just saying. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't know what that means, but
A lot of stuff is piecing up together
I,
after this book. Because, like, with filler, sometimes it's like where when you finish reading it, you don't really remember what was
Mhm,
going on. It's just enough to carry you over to the next one. But
mhm.
there's so much information in this book that is hard to, I mean, I missed some stuff, but it's so much. I'm definitely gonna have to reread this book before the next one comes out, because it's a lot of information on here. And then, like, we're coming up with different theories and stuff like that, and predictions. Tough to see it's gonna be right for the next one.
I don't know. I'm going to be EA next month. And last time I went to be EA, I ran across Tahera Mafi and Ransom Riggs and awkwardly fangirled over them. And this time I'd be like, Tahara, from one
You got
girl who lives
yeah,
in Connecticut to another girl who lives in Connecticut. You want to fill me in on just something, just it, like any little thing, just a
yeah.
little nugget. I'll keep it a secret. Yeah, there's a Gosh, there's a lot. And I mean, I bet, so, and when we end this book, well, a lot of things end this book. We'll just let the rest of that slide for a minute. But when we end this book, they shot down their whole plane. That's so rude. But they wind up in a completely different sector with Castle's daughter and her wife. Again, snaps for throwing this stuff in, just adding in some,
Yeah.
some relevant things to nowadays. But there's like multiple, I almost said multi, I think that's right, multiple resistance groups, and it seems like there's some sort of underground railroad communication system going on amongst all of them. It's absolutely insane. Like, everyone, by the time Juliet figured out she was Ella and got out of Oceania, which they're saying is 2 weeks. I'll let them have it. They're saying it's 2 weeks. The whole continent knows about her. The
Yeah.
whole continent knows her story. That's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. There's got to be some. You know what? The more we talk about this book, the more it really does remind me of The Darkest Minds. I'm just gonna slide that on in there. But so I feel like there might be more. We might find out more with regards to the continent as a whole, because I feel
Mhm.
like there's even more information to know that we only got like a small taste of when we met Castle's daughter, and
Yeah.
her group.
Yeah. And they
That
have been living in there for years
years long enough to
without
make little
anybody even,
homesteads.
yeah, without anybody even like trying to take over them like they do all the other stations in stories like this. They always get blowed up.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
So yeah, yeah, they have been living there for years. But one of the things I wondered is, this is not funny, but it's funny to me.
None of it's
When
funny, but it is.
was when let me pull it back up, when Juliet finally killed her mom because Emmeline took off
Listen,
the wrists, the handcuffs. Oh, the
listen.
handcuffs was there to stop their powers.
Hmm.
So yeah, when Emmeline took off those wrists and her mom came in, she just was like, "You do know I'm trying to make the world a better place. You want that, right?" And Juliet was like, "Yeah, she's talking because she knows I'm about to kill her. I'm not any trouble with it." She punched her where it broke her ribs and then reached in her chest and grabbed her heart out. It reminded me of Restore Me when Warner's friend came and he had pushed Warner or touched him, and Juliet was like, "Touch him again and I'll rip your heart out your chest." She finally got a chance to do it.
I forgot all about that.
Yep, she
Oh
finally got
my
a chance to do
god.
it.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. When I read that, I did laugh, and all I thought of was Mortal Kombat, like the game where that guy's like, "Get over here."
Fatality.
That's really the only thought that went in my mind. But oh my god, that is so funny. But
Yeah,
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Snaps to Juliet, Ella's mom, for knowing instantly that she was screwed. She didn't try to shoot her. She brought the gun down when she
yeah,
saw that the cuffs were off. She was like, I
she
can
knew
either
it.
talk my way out of this
Yeah,
or I'm
she
gonna
tried.
die.
She tried hard, telling folks, "I'm just for the better of the world," and we're just trying to be good people and stuff. You just slapped her.
Oh man, 3 times, not
Yeah,
once, not
you
twice,
just
but
slapped her.
3 times. Oh man. Oh man. I just I
It's
there's a
it was
lot.
it was a lot of those, and then like when what's his name? Her husband. Okay, her husband's still alive. Her dad is still alive,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna come with something. Well, I don't know. I feel like he was a peon. I feel like he was doing things that his wife told him to do.
Was he, or was he pretending to be a peon
Yeah,
while manipulating from the background?
yeah.
Just
Because we
saying.
find out that everybody here has ulterior motives.
They
Yeah.
sure do. They sure
But like
do.
prove like with Castle, because with Castle, you would think that he was just the leader of the rebellions or something like that, but he knew so much more than
Mhm.
he actually knew more than he knew about Warner and Juliet. He knew about the different leader kids and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, so I'm wondering, like, okay, so who are you really? How do you know all of this stuff? Did you act? Did you Was you a soldier in this? Did you know? It's a lot of stuff. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this kind of reminds me, like, with the secondary characters, like when I was in my theater class, and they were saying pay attention to your characters off stage. And this is
Mm-hmm.
all the characters off stage from book 1 through book 4. These are all your characters that was off stage are coming now, and you're getting a glimpse of what they were thinking off stage because you don't really see them when, the main characters on the scene. So it was more so everybody's book, I think, than just Warner
Yeah.
or L. Is it Ella? Ella?
I think
Ella
it's Ella. It's Ella. Yeah.
and Aaron.
That
Some
is
started calling him.
a I like calling him Aaron.
I don't know. I like
Um,
Warner better.
I don't know. But no, that's actually like a really bomb analogy of pay attention to. But see, and so the thing is, yeah, I'm with you. I'm low key terrified about Castle. Like I'm just waiting for some like Game of Thrones nonsense, and I don't even watch that show. But I'm just waiting for something really big to happen. And if
Mhm.
it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen in the next book because as far as we know, it's the last one. But who knows? Because maybe in another 4 years, Tahara gonna pop on Twitter like 3 more coming. So I mean, I really don't know at this point. But everything from everything from Castle's daughter
Mhm.
instituting, shooting, and almost killing Juliet in the last book. And she's
Yeah.
like, it's the only
She
way I
even
can get your
said,
attention. Girl, no, it's not. Girl, no,
no.
it's not.
She said it. I
No,
was
it's not.
like, you need to be slapped like Evie slapped Juliet. 'Cause I'm like, doggone well, it is not the
You know that you could have sent me a letter. You could have sent a telegram. She already has sent some people. She could have sent them with a message, but
yeah.
instead she sent them with a gun. Like it's the only way. I'm not sure if I believe that. Whatever your name is, I forgot her name. I don't think could pronounce it anyway. But so I mean, her sudden appearance after she's supposed to have disappeared is fishy. The fact that, I mean, is it possible that, both a father and a daughter independently organize resistance groups? Maybe. But
Sense.
do I believe that they just did that on their own and found each other on a random Wednesday, a week and a half ago? No, no, I do
And that
not.
goes to show you how maybe Castle got all his information too.
I'm telling
Maybe
you, through this little underground railroad of
yeah,
info.
they probably got reconnected a long time ago, and Castle just never said anything. He just said a little story about her being kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
and they been corresponding a long time ago, and that's probably how he knows all this stuff because they had been underground for years. So it
Mm-hmm.
took a long time for them to be able to come up with information about the supreme leaders and the history between all the characters. And
I
it's
just
just
had a
like,
theory.
okay,
Keep going.
what is it? Go ahead,
I
go
just
ahead.
had a theory. I just had a theory. What if Ella's dad, the silent peon in the back, is giving them info? What if he's actually a good guy? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He'd be privy to all the knowledge. He'd be privy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
it would be,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now that his wife is dead, he doesn't really have like this the worry about him. Like, okay, just got this little bird killed, so I don't have to worry about her now. She's out the way. So
Yeah, I don't know. I
making
don't know.
this is the fun part, making predictions.
It is.
Just trying to see how the next one's gonna be, but I can't wait. I can't wait. So I was finally happy when Warner and Juliet finally got together. That's what I was waiting
Me
on. I was waiting on
too.
that, and actually, I was happy too that Kenji found his little glimmer of happiness with
He
the girl because
did.
I feel like he's the character that everybody depends on.
Mhm.
Everybody shoulder that they cry on, and
Mhm.
I just feel like he just needed his little moment of him for himself, and
He
I was so happy when he got it,
did.
but at the same time, it got taken away from him.
Mhm. Who was that? Was that Winston? Who knocked on that door? I don't know who it was.
Ian knocked on the door.
Oh, Ian ruining stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I'm just not just gonna talk with my boy a little bit, but I'm just gonna. Okay, fine. Nazir, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, whatever. Take her. But I just a little bit more reason to just throw some love on Kenji when they found each other, and I think it was when because I just their friendship, Kenji and Juliet's friendship, is squad goals for me. Like I
Yeah.
just love it. And I love that they are just friends. Like there has never been any undertones of romance. There's never been like they're just best effing friends. And I think it was the in the third book. Was it the third book? Or I don't know. The second, I don't know. One of them books where when Kenji and Juliet were like laying on a rooftop and just like I think Kenji just like said like you're my best friend or
Yeah.
something, and I just thought it was so beautiful. And so then they found each other, and I don't know if they were still in the hallway on the run, but they were talking about how they were gonna cry together. And she's like, I got some stuff to say. Can we cry? He's like, if you cry, then I'm gonna cry, and I don't got time to cry. She's like, well, can we cry later? He said, yeah, I got some stuff to say too, so we gonna cry later, okay? She's like, okay. And then he just ran off,
That
and I
was
was like,
sweet.
that's so
It
beautiful.
was, and I was so happy that they, that I was happy for him in this book. I actually cared about him in this one. I didn't care about him in the other ones.
Well, I will read his book. You don't have to. I'm gonna read that novella, so you don't have to. And I will just let you know. And I will never burn this Kenji candle ever for the rest of my life. And I will fill you in on his life and probably have a million more reasons. But he's that person that everyone depends on, that everybody goes to. I think at one point they even called him a fixer. Like that's what he
Yeah.
does. He fixes things for everybody else and cracks jokes while he's doing it. But we finally saw him angry in this one when he got in that little fight with Nazira.
Oh,
Like he was
yeah.
like, "You playing with my heart, and I'm not feeling that." Like we really got to see him as like a fully fleshed out person. I knew it was in there. I knew that person was fleshed out in
Yeah.
there.
Because he's just trying to be like everybody's balance.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
and it came to a point where it was his breaking point. He lost his best friend. He lost his maybe friend because he and Warner
They're best
discovering each
friends.
other.
Kenji and Warner are best friends. I'm gonna need them to be okay with it one day. They're
Yeah.
best friends. I love it so much.
So, but yeah, I was finally, and then I liked how Warner, like when you said about the poisoning things, like I liked how he he wanted to get to Juliet, but at the end of the day, he was trying to still make amends for everything that he's done in the past and trying to, fix things. And so when they was feeding him, like he knew he had to get out, but at the
Mhm.
same time, he couldn't eat the food that they were giving him. So all of that training and stuff that he got put through, it actually came into effect because he goes
Mhm.
so long without food and water and things that he
Mhm.
put his body through. And I just sitting here like everybody in this book are survivors. They're all trying to
Yeah.
survive.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like if you notice, like all the books, especially okay, after Restore not Restore Me, the last one, Ignite Me, I think that's what it is.
Oh, the third one you mean?
Yeah.
The third
They're
one's Ignite Me. Yeah.
getting, like going down as far as everybody's getting to their breaking point. Like Juliet had her breaking point in the
And
last.
morale.
Yeah, and then Warner was still harboring guilt over his father when he thought he died, and he was afraid of taking it out on Juliet, and so you can still see the what I liked about Restore Me is that it played on both their parts. It told from dual point of views,
Mhm.
and you could actually feel and see what Warner was thinking because if he just lost his dad, even though he didn't. Well, I keep saying that, but he still he
At the
still had
time, he had lost him.
yeah, he still had feelings. He's human. At the end of he's human. So he has these emotions, he has these feelings, and he, things are just playing with him. Like he was in love with Juliet, but at the same time, he still didn't want her to know his past. He didn't want to know about his dad beating on him, and it's just and in this book, you can see just a little bit of him still struggling to hold on.
Yeah.
Juliet or Ella is still kind of optimistic about
Oh
things,
yeah. She
and
sure is.
Connor is just like, we're just gonna do it day by day, things
Mhm.
like that. And I don't know. Everybody just had their breaking point. Like we had Warner and Ella. Well, I keep mixing their name up. Aaron and Ella, because that's what they're called now. And then Kenji had his in this one. So hopefully in the next one, everybody can just find a medium ground and be just content and happy.
You know what? I don't even know because Tahara Mafi has a habit of doing that. And I think that's what I like the most about her books. So, I mean, even if you take it way, way back to Shatter Me, you have Juliet, and she is just literally broken. Like, they have broken her soul 6 ways from Sunday, and she is barely holding on. But by the time you get to the end of Shatter Me, she is like, I got this. She's like, I got it. I'm strong. I'm good. I'm great. Bomb. I think that was when they wound up with Castle. So then you immediately start the next book, and she's just a mess again. She just starts the next book, and she's just like, oh Lord, I can't. But then as you see her growing, and ironically enough, when she starts fighting with Adam, um, you kind of see her build that strength back up again in the second book. And, you see, and that's when Warner pops in, and he's like, kind of helping to fuel that fire to sort of strengthen her and help her figure out who it is that she
Yeah.
really is, that she lost when they broke her. And as we find out in this book, when they erase all her daggone memories.
Yeah.
So then you get to the third book, and she's a hot mess again. Like, and so, I mean, it's just like we read the book and we build up the characters, and then we get the next book, and then they're just like they're starting from the ground floor again. And
Yeah.
we finish that book, and they've been built up again, and we start the next book. And what I like about that is that it really does show them as real people, because we have our good days, we have our bad days, we have our strong days, we have our less than strong. I'm not gonna say weak. We have our less than strong days. Um, and that's why I'm low key real nervous for the next book, because this book ended on such a high. It ended on such a great note. Everyone is back together again. As far as I know, everyone's alive.
Yeah.
Um, they're at a new location. Castle's with his daughter. Ella is with Aaron and Kenji, BFF Kenji. And should we just like, if anybody's still watching this and they haven't read the book, you're a darn fool. And also now Aaron and Ella, what a weird name hybrid, are
Yeah.
gonna get married.
Yes. 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 I'm so happy. I'm
I
so happy.
Listen, that whole scene in the cockpit, though, when Kenji was like, "Dude, you gotta buy a ring.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a
I was
movie?" He's
gonna,
like, "A what?" That the
I was
whole
gonna
that whole
say,
scene was hilarious.
yeah, that was.
But
And he was naming all these movies, and I'm like, okay, I'm so happy they're gonna get married. So
are
happy.
they? But see, are they?
We are.
Tahara,
We're
I
gonna
don't even
claim
trust
that.
you. I
We're gonna claim
listen.
it. We're gonna claim it. We're
I
gonna
don't.
claim it. It's
But are they
right.
gonna get married like in the beginning of the book and then deal with all of like the craziness that comes, or
Yes.
are they gonna deal with the craziness and then get married at the end of the book?
They're not gonna stay with the same the same trope of getting married at the end. Like fixing everything. They're gonna get married at the beginning, and they're gonna fix it and work it out like husband and wife. They're gonna be together, because we know they're gonna be together. If they wait till the end, then we know that there's a possibility that between the beginning and that part that they can get in this big fight like they always do
They
and
sure do.
separate. But Juliet was like, because the way she got my nerves and restored me with Warner. She finally came to her senses and was like, I don't want to take us for granted anymore. I don't want
Yeah.
and I hope she keeps that same mentality if they do get married at the end.
Well,
Because
they said they were going to start over. So Warner was like, from this point on, he's like, we're going to start over. Like, no more secrets. Like, this is day one. Like, you can't think about nothing else. But Julia does have a tendency to just hold on to some stuff. So I don't like, she gets in her feelings and she refuses to leave them.
she
So
does.
I don't know. But see, okay, here's where my brain is. If they get married in the beginning, do you know what I'm scared of? And one of them's going to die. That they're gonna like Erica just done killed you. I'm sorry. I'm scared they're gonna like get married in the beginning and be happy and then like fight the good fight and be like husband and wife, fight it out, fight it out, fight it out, and then someone's gonna die. Like some Veronica Roth nonsense. Like I don't
Oh,
know. I'm sorry. I'm just scared. I'm
no,
scared. I'm
that can't
scared.
happen. That can't happen.
No, we have seen that nothing is off the table. Tahara's not playing with nobody right now.
That can't happen. Like, I just okay, if I had to choose, like, which one, I would say Juliet. I can't let anything happen to Warner. I just can't.
Because Juliet done piss you off and ignite or whatever in the mother book. So now it's her time to
Yeah,
go.
I can't. Warner, he's
But you
no.
know what? But I can't imagine Warner without Juliet. She really
I
brought
think
out the
he
best in
did. He
him.
did,
I don't
but
think he can handle it. I listen.
I'm like,
We
find
done seen him at his craziest.
I like
I,
I said, Warner, you can come find me, and it'll be okay. I promise. I
oh God. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, like it's just like a fear that's like in the pit of my stomach. And when they had that like proposal and the book ended on such a high note, I was like, this is so bomb. I was like, but Tahara, I've been following you for a minute now, and you have a habit of ending us on a high note and then crushing our dreams in the first 1/3 of the next book. You play that game.
no,
So
no, 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 no. Do not spook it. No, no,
but it's like buried in your mind a little bit now though, huh?
no. I pushed it out. I pushed it out because no,
I don't know.
yeah, mm-mm.
I don't know. What if it's Kenji? Oh my god. I will throw that book out my window.
Okay, that's how I feel about Warner.
What?
That's how I feel about Warner. Throw it out the window.
I
Everybody
will
knows
like, but like, and thank God I got renter's insurance. Like, I will for real bust some windows. I will lose my ever loving mind. Oh no. I'm gonna ask her. If I run into Tahara, they think I won't. If I ran into her at BA, I'd be like, Tahara, your bio says that you grew up in Connecticut and I live in Connecticut. This state ain't that big. I was like, we got a connection. Like, if you could just help me out, just soothe my soul a little bit. Oh no. Okay, you know what we gotta do? We gotta keep on the gram. We gotta keep on the gram. We gotta keep on Instagram because I remember just before Defy Me came out, she doesn't do this very often because apparently she's camera shy, but she did a Q&A on Defy Me or for like, when people were asking questions about like Defy Me. And that's when I panicked because that's actually when I stopped reading the last book because someone asked the question. They just said, is Warner gonna be okay? And she was like, yeah. But that made me panic because I was like, what happened to him? What happened to him? And that day I stopped reading the book. I did. I put it down. Like it's just gonna sit here until I get the next book.
no,
That
I
that
had to finish it.
that made I wasn't ready. So we're gonna have to stay on the Instagram and we're gonna have to wait for her to do a live chat. So we could be in there asking some. I'll tag you if I
Okay,
catch
yeah.
it, and if you
Do
catch it,
that.
you tag you
I
tag
will.
me.
'Cause I follow her. I follow her and her husband.
I do too. I follow them both too. Oh man.
Okay, the ending. How perfect was that?
The
So
birthday
in the
party.
yeah, in a flashback, we found out that Warner had never had a birthday party, never celebrated his birthday when
Never blew out
Ella was
candles.
telling her about it. And so at the end, after they had like their time together,
Yes, they did. Get her.
they surprised Warner with a birthday party. And I was like, that is the most sweetest. That's not even like right grammar right there, but I don't care. The most sweetest thing ever. Like it just
It
melts
was
in my little heart.
beautiful. Me too.
Like a birthday, he turned 20, and then he's so young,
I
20. And I
know. They're
remember in the
such
first one,
babies.
I don't know why I thought he was older. I
I think
remember,
all this happened in a year.
yeah,
So
because she asked him how old he was, and he said 19 or something like that. Now that I remember, I just didn't. That was so young,
I
so young
know. Them
to
poor
go through
babies.
all this stuff.
Yeah. But I think my favorite part of the birthday scene, as short as it was, let me say, we were reading that. And I was, like I said, I was reading on my tablet, and I was talking to Tahera Mafi in my head. I said, "Don't you dare let this be the last page.
Oh,
Don't you,
last
don't you dare,
good.
don't you dare!" And I flipped and saw her picture, and I was like, "I don't even want to look at you right now. I'm so mad."
Yeah,
But I think my favorite thing was like his reaction to it, and Juliet Ella, she's like, "Is this okay?" And he was like, "Yeah." It just, I just something about that was just so beautiful to me. Like he was
yeah.
just He didn't even believe her. She gave up the secret. He was like, no, no. How you all even know? How y'all pull that off? How he just like he refused to believe that he had found himself in a place where he had people who actually cared about him. Like he is still coming to revelations that despite his past and everything that he has done, he has found himself solidly within a group of people where at least a handful of them care
Mhm.
about him. And he, other than Juliet, like, listen, Warner and Kenji are BFFs. Like they the BFFs that fight all the time, like punch each other in the
Mhm.
face, but like out of love, you know, that man thing that I don't
Yeah.
understand. That's the kind of friends they are. Castle probably cares about them too, you know, but like I said, I don't know how I'm feeling about Castle right now, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume that Castle cares about them too. But you
I'm
know,
sure something is in it for Castle. I just know it
James, I
is.
know
I
I
know
don't
it
know about
is.
Castle, but James loves Warner, which I think is also really cute. But yeah, I just thought his reaction to finally kind of accepting and realizing, like, yeah, we did this for you in 6 hours, you know, I don't know, it was just so beautiful.
It was. It really was. I mean, like I said, I didn't. It's not my favorite of the series, but it's still it's still dear to my heart. Like I can't believe that it's like just yesterday she announced 3 more books are going to be added to the series, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're waiting on the last one to come out.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I
Like
don't know.
she needs to create like I don't know. It wasn't in talks a long time ago about it being a TV show.
Yes, I remember that, and then it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, so
Didn't that conversation re-happen? Didn't that conversation start
I
up again?
I think it has, and I'm like I'm happy at the same time that I'm kind of
No,
not too
I'm not gonna.
because I'm gonna watch it, but
Mm-mm.
I feel like they can do so much better with TV show than a movie. Don't make it into a movie because you will mess it up. And a TV
No.
show you can add and take away be as long as you want it to be.
Stop laughing at me. I got one word for you. I don't know if you read it. I got one word.
Okay.
Outlander.
Okay, I read the first
Outlander.
one.
Girl, when I tell you that my soul is tied into them books, I'm not even done yet. I'm audiobooking them actually, which is attaching my heart a little bit more. Because they're really long. I don't have time. I really don't have time to read
They
like
are long.
3,000
Took me forever
pages
to
in
finish the
like
first
8
one.
font. I looked at the books and I was like, nah, we going to find another way. I love those. I dream about those books. Like I dream about the Outlander books. And I think I done watched 2 episodes and I was like, I'm mad at y'all. Y'all have killed everything and I want nothing to do with you anymore.
Really? You're the first person to say that. 'Cause everybody that I know that read the books, they love the TV show.
No, 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 no. Just because they don't love the books as much as me. That's why they're not as emotionally. I
I
told you
really
I get emotionally attached to stuff. And then I haven't even watched this one, but I got four. I had to count them out. I got four, oh, maybe three. I got 3 more words for you. I didn't watch the show, but I can tell in my soul. Discovery of Witches. I know they done messed that up too.
okay,
The
I
trailer didn't
didn't
even look
see it.
right.
I didn't see it. I do wanna watch it, but I hadn't finished the book yet, so
I've I those are my default books. Like when I'm laying at night and I need something to put me to sleep, those are the books I put on
oh
my
my god.
audiobook. Girl, I was like, person in library, vampires, life. I was like, that I saw that book in the book drop. Someone returned it in the book drop at the very first library I worked at, aside from my college library, the very first public library I worked at. And I was looking, I was like, ooh, I was reading I stopped my whole job to read the inside cover of this book and like the first 2 pages. And I was like, I see someone who's similar to a librarian and I see a British vampire. This will be coming
Yep,
home with me. Thank you very much.
yep.
And
Got the witches and all this stuff in there.
yes, I have been obsessed ever since, even though I haven't read the 4th book. And that show, I could tell from the trailer, they done messed it up. I just feel it in my
They have a
soul.
good cast. They have
No,
a good cast.
I didn't even look at the cast list.
Yeah, they have a good one.
No,
They have the girl who is in Iron Number 4.
that's a dumb movie.
Okay, well, I don't remember another one that she was in right off the bat.
That's why they didn't make no more of the
Okay,
movies. That what his
I
name?
didn't read the book.
Pittacus lore got like 7 books, and only the first one made it to a movie. That tells you
Yeah,
something about that movie.
okay. I can't think of okay, what movie he was in? He was okay, okay. Okay, did you see Belle? It's like one of those
Yes,
historical.
girl.
Okay,
Yes,
the
I
one who
love that
played her
movie.
dad, the one who played her dad.
Her dad.
Yeah,
Oh, the one. Oh, he was only in there
he,
for 30
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, he's played. Yeah,
He was in there for just long enough to find her, drop her off, and die. Like, he didn't do
he
nothing
plays
else.
the British vampire.
He was only in that movie long enough to pick her up, drop her off, and die. Like, he didn't do nothing
Okay,
else.
we're going to have to talk about that movie outside of the show because that's one of my favorite movies ever.
I do. I really do love that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. We'll be okay. Let me stop because I'll be talking
I
about
know.
the
I
guy and
know.
the
I
girl.
know. We have deviated, but okay, Lord Jesus. So I guess we got a lot of theories floating in the air, and we got a whole year. We sure do. Dang, we got a whole year to wait.
Here we bought it. Well, I got it the day. Well, yesterday. I bought it yesterday.
I
A
got
whole
I
year.
got the bookish box. So I got the box, my candle, a t-shirt, a ring with the eye on it that I love and value so much. I don't know,
I
maybe
didn't.
something
That's
else.
like restore me. I didn't even get my chance to even savor it. I just. Why do I do this? Why
I
did this
don't
so?
know.
I have to wait a whole other year for this next one to come out. And this one is the thinnest of all of them because the
Is
other one,
it?
yeah, this her other one's like 400 pages and stuff, and this was like three
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, Restore Me is pretty big. I think Ignite Me is maybe around this size. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
Unravel Me is big. I have that one.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unravel Me was huge. I think feel like it might have been the biggest of them all.
Which one was that one? The second or the third one?
Second one. Third one's Ignite
Okay.
Me.
Ignite Me, chapter 55. Got it book
Girl, I read that article and I was like, huh? I must have just read on through this. And I sure
How
had.
did
And I
you
went
get
back and
through it?
you know what it was? I think I read it with my grown up brain and I didn't read it with like my not grown up brain. So I was reading it and I was like,
Two,
yeah, yeah. But then
two,
when they were describing it, I was like, really?
two
I think
chapters.
I had just
Two
forgotten.
chapters of it.
I know, because I done reread it. I know.
I was like, what?
I'm so done. Okay. Yep.
It's okay. We can okay. Like I said, this one was just information.
The
Not a lot of
good information.
not a lot of action happened in this one, like the
That's
previous.
very true.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was character driven. It wasn't any hardcore plot stuff going on. Just information that you need to know because you're gonna have answer or questions. A lot of
Hmm.
questions, and they're gonna get answered.
We think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, this is funny too. So Warner's dad got new feet.
Yeah. I don't remember him getting his feet shot off.
I don't either. When he said he got new feet, I was like,
He's like, they couldn't save the feet though, and showed his metal ankles. I was like, huh?
yeah, and he said it. He said, "Do you like my feet? I got new feet or something like that." And I was like, "That's not the most getting ready to kill someone's speech."
Oh God. I felt like I had the same look on my face Warner had. I was like, huh? And he was like, huh?
This is why villains get killed in the middle of their speech because they say unnecessary stuff like that. Like, why? I don't get it.
I don't know. Oh Lord Jesus, help us all. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what I do know. The day this last book comes out, I'm taking off work. I'm gonna have to just pull you up on Google Hangouts just so you could be there while I'm reading the books. I could be like, girl, like what did you want? Because I don't know anyone else who really reads this series. I'm like, I don't know what to talk to. I know one other person, but she got a baby, so it takes her a minute to get through these books. And I'm just like, I need someone. I need someone who understands what I'm feeling right now.
Do it. 'Cause I can vlog it for my videos.
Just like 24 hours of
Yeah,
two crazy women reading the sixth and maybe last book in a series, losing their ever loving minds.
and I promise myself I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna rush it.
I'm not.
Right? I'm gonna take my time.
I
And
read this book in less than 12 hours. I split that 12 hours over 2 days, but mm-mm.
yeah, I read it, well, the bulk of it in one day. I finished
Mhm.
like 30 minutes before the show started.
I flew through this book like it was the last Harry Potter book. Like I sat my butt on the couch, I made a sandwich, I had some chips next to me and my 48-ounce water bottle, and I did not move. I nestled in, I nested, and I flew through the book, and I have no regrets.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna try to read her other, see, because I was vlogging, I was in a reading vlog, and I said that she wasn't my favorite author, but she's the author of my favorite series because I hadn't read any of her other works.
What's
So
that? Furthermore,
yeah,
Nevermore. So
furthermore,
that juvenile fiction
yeah,
series, the
and then
younger.
just had another one came out, Very Large Expanse of the Sea,
Yep. That's supposed to be based off of
and then
her, experiences, as a teen.
yeah, and I thought it was another one. I guess I don't think it is.
She's got some novellas peppered
Yeah,
through this series. But I think that's it.
yeah. So I need to check out her other stuff because oh, that's why else I wanted to mention. You could tell her writing style was different in this one too, because in the other ones I feel like there was very airy and metaphoric, but this
Mm-hmm.
one seemed more literal. I guess it's not. It wasn't as
Mm.
light as her other ones were. Like she used a lot of metaphors in her other ones, a lot to
She did, I
and then
guess.
this one she didn't do that.
Mm.
And with the analogy, she used a lot of analogies in the first ones, in the couple first previous ones, and this one she didn't do it. She was more straight to the point with this one.
Well, and I think that shows because how many years was it between book 3 and 4? I don't know, but I feel like it had to have been like 3 years. I don't know where that number is coming from in my mind. I think I'm thinking of what libraries I was working at when I was reading the books. So I
Okay.
feel like I finished the first trilogy when I was at this library that I'm currently working at the first time because this library I'm at right now. This is the second time I worked there, and I left in 2014. So I feel like by 2014, all 3 books were done. And why am I trying to guess? I could just go
I
look.
think
Um,
so.
I'm gonna look. Hold on.
Because I remember reading these um when I started out in my library because one of my teens recommended to me because the first book I judged the book by its cover, and the first cover, the book of the cover of the first book does not look interesting
Which
at
cover?
all.
Was it the eyeball cover or the girl
No, it was
cover?
the girl.
Ah, see, I had the eyeball cover. Okay, so Ignite Me, she wrote in 2014. I told you 2014. Okay, so Restore Me came out and it has the ripped pages. I forgot about that. Restore Me came, which is why I can't turn the page, came out in 2018. Four, four
Yeah,
years and a baby. Wait, did the baby come before Restore Me or after? I don't know. 4 years between this and this. So, I mean, you can only imagine how her, life changed her
yeah,
writing style. Not to mention,
yeah,
whatever was happening at the publishing house.
yeah. Because they go and change things too, but it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
bad thing. I liked it, so
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah. But yeah, I'm just glad I got my hands on it. So one of my friends that work at the library, she loves this too, and she forgot that it came out, and I was like, "Girl, how did you forget?" Like, how and she was the one that got me reading the series. She started out, just coming in as a patron, and now she's working circulation now.
Yeah, and she gonna forget because she not following the right people on Twitter and Instagram, so she forgot. She wasn't reminded by the world. That's what that means.
So, yeah, that was pretty much all that I had. I didn't have a lot of notes, just a couple of bookmarks
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
on
mm-hmm.
it. That was pretty much all that I had.
Yeah, I'm just chock full of emotion with my Kenji candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we this time next year we're gonna be back freaking out
Yes.
talking about the last book.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's all pretty sweet. I don't want it to end.
Who
I do.
knows? In another 4 years, she might be like, three more coming. And we're all
I'm
going to
all
lose our
for.
minds.
I feel like she
I
can do
don't
so
know.
much with this world.
She really can.
So
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay. Well, here's hoping.
So I don't. I don't really have. We'll come back with you guys with the topic, or if we're gonna do another book or anything like that for next month. Because I didn't
Oh,
even have anything.
no, I was very
Yeah,
preoccupied. I was very
I know.
preoccupied.
So yeah, we'll get back with you guys. It'll be probably in a day or two, and we'll figure
Mhm,
out what it is exactly we want to do. If you
mhm,
have any suggestions as well on like books or topics and such or things like that you want us to talk about, you can always shoot us. You can shoot me an email here. I have our information in the description bar too. Instagram, very active on Instagram too as well.
mhm.
So shoot us suggestions and things like that, and we will, try to get to those as well.
All right.
Thank y'all for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.